Hey guys, it's Shock. It's in the middle of the night, but I'm so excited to talk about this. I just got recently into Mastersleague, and this is pretty big for me because it was almost a year of hard work for me, and with a lot of up and downs. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this, and I just want to give a little bit of motivation to people that maybe feel like they're not really talented and not made for StarCraft, or people that just have to unfold themselves until they eventually understand that they're actually pretty good players. So I have a little bit of a structure prepared. First of all, I'm gonna release this in different episodes, I guess. I'm just gonna talk from because I got a lot to say, so I'm gonna just split this up a little bit. And this one, I'm gonna talk about my team experiences, how I started out, and Bros League, right? And yeah, so we are gonna go into we're gonna finish this introduction, then we're gonna go into 2-on-2 times Team League, Bronze League in team, and then we're gonna go over to my one-on-one experiences. Gonna start out with the Bronze League, Silver League, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond Masters. Yeah, so first of all, I wasn't one of those players that got into the game and immediately got into Platinum League or something. I was one of those guys that actually started from the rock bottom. So I was playing my placement matches, got into Bros League, which I actually expected to be happening because I was not an RTS player before. I didn't come from a RTS background. I wasn't playing Warcraft 3 or something. Yeah. So again, I just want to talk about my struggles from Bros to Masters, and what is important in what I learned from all of this climbing the ladder, what is important in what I learned about the learning process, what is important to look for, what is important to to rather ignore what you shouldn't do, and what doesn't really help that much. So I just want to emphasize this. So yeah, let's just start out with the team leagues. Started out with 3 friends actually. I don't want to name them, I don't want to embarrass them in the internets, but we started out 4 people playing StarCraft 2. I actually just showed them the game. I thought it was awesome, so we started to play it eventually. And we started out playing Team League, like I said, because I was just scared of one-on-ones. Because I always felt like you're so dependent on yourself, and everything's like turning around you, like you're the center of attention, and I just felt like it's too much to handle. So I was going into Team League in the beginning. So we played a lot of 2-on-2, 4-on-4, 3-on-3 stuff, and basically this might sound a little harsh, but I guess it was like a little bit useless, because again, you are not the only person in that game, so everything's dependent on all the other players. So it's not you that makes the game, but it's rather the team. And the more players get into the game, like 4-on-4 for example, the less important you are, and the less you do in a game. And so actually, if you for example fail at something, you fail at your strategy or something, it's not that important as if you were in a one-on-one situation, cause then there's your opponent, and if he didn't fail, then you have a problem. But if you, for example, like I failed my strategy or something, then your opponent maybe have like one teammate that failed as well, or your teammates are better than your opponents, and they actually like balance things again. So it's really and also, if they catch you off guard with some strategy, you always have your teammates that can help you defend or something. And in one-on-one, you're on your own, so it's a lot more about reactionary play and stuff. So, yeah, let's go into one-on-ones, because that's actually a lot more interesting. So eventually, started out one-on-one, and there joined another friend who immediately started one-on-one though. So he pretty much joined like at the end of the Team League stuff, and then we all went over to the one-on-one stuff. The problem though was I was really anxious, and I chattered a lot before playing a one-on-one. I had really a lot of problems with anxiety, and I just really couldn't play that much because I was like so scared of one-on-ones. Every single time I got into the game, I couldn't concentrate because I was so anxious, and I don't know, I just had such a hard time to be the only player in there, and I always felt like, oh my god, every single thing I do is gonna be punished or something, and I think that was a huge problem. I was just not that self-confident going into the game. I was really scared, and that's why I didn't play a lot starting out. And as opposed to playing a lot, I just read a lot of stuff. Because I thought it made me a really good player to know a lot of things, and I just went on Teamleague and stuff, read a lot of information about the game, like whatever strategies, build orders, unit compositions, what's the right thing to do, and I basically read every single guide I could find in the internet, even though it was like pages and pages and a lot of work. I just did all this stuff and try to remember writing down things, and yeah, especially I started to read a lot of things about scouting, because it wasn't very self-explaining what to scout for and stuff, but I don't know, it wasn't like I was getting really really good after that. I just knew a lot of things, but I couldn't do them because mechanical wise I just didn't really play the game a lot. I just played it a little bit, and so I started playing a little bit more to actually balance things out in terms of only knowing stuff and being able to play the stuff. Blah. So, by the way, I'm just checking my notes there, if I look there, so you don't, I am not ignoring you. Yeah, so I started out, I wanted to play the right way. I didn't want to be the gimmicky player or cheese player, so I started to focus on macro games and reactive play. And I was very upset when it got cheesed, and because I just lost every single game. Every single game I was cheesed, I lost. Because especially in Mastersleague, you just don't know what to do. You don't understand the game. For example, in a high level play, and you see something that you don't know yet, then you always kinda know what to do, cause you know like what units are good, what are the unit abilities, and what units or whatever. Like you just have this game sense, even though you don't really know the strategy. You still know exactly what a certain thing is doing. So you can basically think about, okay, what could I do against this? You can just brainstorm, and then you may have the right answer. For example, I actually didn't look for anti-cannon rush. When I was getting cannon rush, I actually just figured out that this could work, and I just did that. So anti-cannon rush, for example, I didn't read on that on the internet. I just kind of thought about it. And so when I started out in Pro, you don't really have the huge like information thing or understanding of the game, so you can't really make up a lot of things about when you get cheese. What am I doing? What's the right reaction? So I lost a lot against cheese, and I got really upset and angry, and yeah, and yeah, that was a lot of the losses I had. And I got also very upset because I always felt like, especially out of the group we played, like now it's basically five players, right? 5 friends, like 4 friends and me. I was the fastest player, like on stats. I had about roughly an APM of 40 to 50, like. Even though APM is not really important, it just was like this value I had. This thing I could say, like I had the highest APM, so I could like orientate my skill at something. And I not only did I have like the highest APM, but I also watched the most things. I watched watched out for a lot of information, stuff like that. Again, like I said, reading a lot of the forums and stuff. And the problem with that though is that I really didn't focus on my own game, but I just focused on everything basically. I just looked for all the information, all the build orders and everything, as opposed to looking into my replays and looking what I did wrong and looking up for the forums. And I tell everyone that is watching now that doesn't feel like he really knows himself what to do after a game, like me for example. Don't go into the internet and look for everything, and just use the forums, post your replays or something, and ask somebody. I mean, the community is just awesome, especially for example Teamleague. You can just go there every single time I post something, post a replay or something, get a reply, and the people are really nice there. Some invest huge amounts of time into helping you or writing an article. So this is pretty awesome, and I really advise you to do that. Just go into the forums and show people that you need help, because there are a lot of people that are really helpful and nice. Yep. So again, I just didn't do that stuff because I didn't know about it, and I just looked up all these things, and I didn't check my replays or ask somebody to check my replays, and I didn't know what my errors was, so I just started to read a lot more information that was actually not really related to what I did wrong in my game, so I couldn't really improve my own game. Like I improved in knowing a lot more and stuff, and knowing more about my opponents and stuff like that, but I didn't really improve my own play and and fix my own bugs. So that was one of the small things I failed at. And yeah, eventually all my friends, the four friends playing, the four friends I had, there was 3 friends still playing actively. One played the fewest games of us and read nothing basically, and didn't watch anything. He was the guy that joined in the end of the team leagues. Like, we played like team league for 4 months, and we didn't improve at all, or not a lot at least. And he joined at the very end of the team league stuff, and he was promoted to Silver League, and my friend, my other friend was promoted, who's actually still playing with me right now. It's Libra. Some of you may know him. He played. He was promoted to Silver League, and another friend was promoted to Silver League. The other guy, the other friend, didn't really play all that much. Didn't really play one-on-one that much. So he was rather focusing on having fun and not the competitive aspects of StarCraft. So he was not promoted. He was not really interested in it at all. I was really interested at all. I was really interested in it, but I just couldn't reach silver at that time, and I didn't know why. And that was like the, I don't know, such a bad feeling, cause especially the friend that just joined after we played like 4 months of Team League. He just joined us like in the last few weeks or something when we played team games, and he got promoted, but I didn't. Like, that was just like I put so much more work into this. I read stuff like endless articles and guides, and I watched VODs of every single pro game. And he just joins our Team League experience in the end. Didn't even have like these 4 or 5 months of mechanical play and knowledge, and he just got silver before me, like way before me. And that's like one of the huge upsets I had. That, I don't know, that just sucked for me, because I'm really competitive. I can't accept if anybody that I know, especially that I know, is better than me. I don't want to be selfish, but it's just I don't know. I can't accept it if I'm not the best in like my social environment. and I get really angry if I'm not the best. And sometimes, of course, that sucks, especially if you're like with your friends and somebody is like me and being really selfish about this kinds of things and really has to be the best. Like otherwise, he just gets angry and mad and stuff. But yeah, well, I was Bronze League and I did like a lot more than my friends. And they didn't really read all that much. They just played a little bit and they got into Silver League and I was still stuck in Bronze. I knew the most and I had the highest APM and stuff. It just felt wrong for me. And if they had questions, if my friends had questions on the game, they asked me because they knew that I knew the most about the game because I just read all these things and watched all these VODs, and I don't know, it just felt like completely upside down, you know. I knew all the stuff, I read all this stuff, I played more than them, and I was like the guy that was in Bronze League that you asked for something if you need help. It was just it felt so stupid. So I felt really disappointed at that time, and I tried working harder. And yeah, I met one guy in that was like that played like 2,000 games and was ranked 1 bronze or something, and he told me to yeah, he told me to forgate because forgate is actually a good strategy. He said. So I just did that, and I yeah. Well, the thing with aggressive play is, if you play macro, then you have to be the reactive player oftentimes. If your opponent is, for example, the aggressor, cause the macro player always have to be the reactive one, and the aggressor has to just do his strategy and play, and you have to be the reactive player. And the role of the aggressive player is oftentimes, especially in low levels, a lot easier than the defenders, because I mean both players don't have like that huge of a micro experience. The micro of the one player is not really superior of the micro of the other player, so it's not really about the execution. It's just, I don't know. It's just like catching people off guard in low leagues is aggressive play. And now my screen turned off, sorry. So I was playing 4 gates and it worked against every single race, which is kind of ridiculous because it doesn't really work, but it just worked. And of course you can forgate a Terran and a Protoss, but I'd say that against Terran it's not really the best thing to do, and also against Zerg it doesn't really work. So I basically did it against everybody, and it worked because they just were like playing their strategy and not playing reactively. Because again, at that low level, you don't really know what to do and what to react and what to scout for and stuff. Yeah, so yes. So eventually, with the 4-gate and with all the aggressive play, I was promoted to Silver League finally, and and all that was like maybe after I had double the games of all my friends. Like, if I compare my games played at that time, 1-on-1 played, I played like double the amount of games than all of my friends at that time did, and a lot more than double than the one friend that just joined us when we ended with the Teamleague thing. So I was like, I felt like so stupid. I felt like I was too dumb to play this game, or just like that they are so much more talented. Cause I was just like, I played double the games. I did inform myself. I watched all these replays after I played, and I don't know. It's just like I meant VODs, not replays. It just felt so stupid because they were investing. I don't know, almost like not even half the time I did, and I was still like the lowest player, and like it took me double the time to get the same rank. So I eventually got into Silver League, was pretty pissed before that, and what happened is like the worst moment of my whole StarCraft 2 road so far. I played 8 games, like seriously, I played 8 games in Silver League, and they were all like, or some of them at least, were pretty good players, and relatively speaking, of course, at that moment in time. For example, they were like former gold players or former top 8 silver players or something I played there, and I botched all 8 games. Like, I was promoted in the middle of the season, and I got into silver, and I lost all these games, and I was demoted. And this was like, I can't, I can't, I, even if I like think about it now, it's still so incredible. I was like, there was like the worst moment I ever had, especially ever had in StarCraft. It was like unbelievable. I don't know. I, I basically I was so mad after that, and so pissed and embarrassed. And I mean, think about that. You invest double the time all your friends invest into a game. You invest double the time informing yourself about anything in the game. You watch like every single minute. You're not in game, or you're not reading a guide. You watch the VOD, and what you get is, after double the time and double the amounts of games, you finally, eventually, get onto their level of play. Even though you may have been better. League says difference. League says different. You're in a different league, and everybody from the outside thinks you're worse than them. So eventually you get into their league. And after 8 games played, you got demoted to the lower league again. Like, after double the work you invested. And oh my god, I just felt like the stupidest person on the whole world. Like, nobody but me could ever fail that hard in something. And yeah, at that moment, it was like the worst moment ever in StarCraft. I wanted to just quit everything, because again, I'm so competitive. I can't accept if I'm not the best, and especially if I already went into like double the amounts of games and double the effort everybody was investing into StarCraft, and I still got like demoted. Really, it was just like, it felt so wrong, and I felt so bad, and I was so embarrassed of all my friends. It was like, I don't know, the worst feeling ever. And again, I almost stopped playing there. But what happened the day after, I calmed down a little bit. I was still very upset with it, but I got all my anger together, and cause again, I'm like the person that either just cancels everything and like gives up, or I never give up at all, and I go into work hard mode and be like, whatever, I'm gonna do everything to reach what I wanna reach. So I got into work hard mode. I got my things together and started playing a lot, and just like, I don't know, get something out of it again. And yeah, well, I ended the season rank 1 Pros League, and at that time it still felt really unfair and bad for me, because even though I was top 8 pros again, my friend at that time, Libra at that time, was already top 8 silver. And in like, if we compare our plays, he even mentioned sometimes that I was the better player and I knew the most and stuff, and I don't know, it's just like such a pain in the ass if you like, if you're being said to be the better player and you have like the higher APM and you think you know the most, and you just read like way more than somebody and he's like a league higher than you. It was so hard to accept, and I just had such a hard time with it. Yeah, so yeah, eventually what would happen is I would go into after the season I would win the placement match, and I was eventually finally Silver League, and yeah, I was Silver League then, and I guess this is also the end of this episode, I guess. Because next time I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the Silver League experience I had and what happened. It's a little bit, it's another funny thing coming up for next time. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. I hope everybody that watched, I really thank you for watching, and yeah, maybe if you wanna see me play right now, cause I'm I'm streaming a lot at the moment. Not at the moment, like today or something, cause I have a lot to do with exams and school and stuff for next week. But after next week, I'm gonna start streaming a lot again, like 4 hours a day or something. So if you wanna see me play, you can do that on Twitch TV/ShockSC2. And yeah, I just wanna thank you for watching, and hope to get you a little bit more motivated. If you see like I'm finally masters and I got so many problems in getting up the ladder, and yeah, I just try to give you a little bit of motivation to never give up, cause you can do it. I guess you can if you just have to stick to it and motivate yourself. And I'm not gonna give up my next aims. And this was such a helpful lesson, I guess, for my life, that I worked on something. It's like, it sounds kind of ridiculous, because everybody that is masters right now and watching this is maybe like, yeah, it's not such a big deal to be in the Masters League or something. But for me, it's actually really big, because I had so many struggles and I just stick to it. So it's not like the achievement itself, but it's the road and the thing, like the all the things I achieved on the road, and all the things I got over with, I dealt with, and that it eventually worked after like 1 year, or not 1 year, but like maybe 10 months or something, or 9 months of hard work. No, it's like 10 to 11, something like that, whatever. So I just hope to give you a little bit motivation. If you're like one of those guys like me that maybe didn't start out really good and had a lot of problems and felt like they were pretty good but just got disappointed over and over again, you just have to stick to it and go ahead, and I don't know, just don't give up, guys. So yeah. So thanks guys for watching, really appreciate it, and tune in next time, please.